All right, it drops nothing. All right, hi, hello. So, you know, the Campfire Chat, I watched that the other night here, actually last night. I just, was kind of thinking about it. Some of the stuff was looking, seemed pretty cool and seemed, good to say to come. But, pretty interesting stuff. There were some interesting tidbits, kind of sprinkled throughout. They were kind of explaining other things here and there, which seemed pretty neat. They're adding in the malignant rings to kind of bring some of the season 1 powers back, which is neat. It's just another unique ring that you can add to your build to play off of one of the powers. So, more items is not always bad, and they did get into a little bit talking about itemization a little bit, tad bit. They didn't really go into too much details about it, but they did, say some interesting things about what to come and what they're focusing on. It's kind of on my mind here, but towards the end, they were kind of doing the Q&A, and it was brought up in that, and what was, what they kind of talked about mainly was the fact what they're trying to do with the aspects alone, which has always been an issue in my opinion. Yeah, so it's always been an issue in my opinion where it was just constantly farming items, legendary items, simply for the fact of just getting the aspects. And we got to collect the aspects, because if you constantly get new gear, you're always getting new gear, and then you have to swap them out, and you're just collecting different aspects with at higher power levels, so that way you can have higher rolls on those aspects stored up. And, for my case, I usually keep like 3 on hand at all times of each one I'm using, so that's every armor piece I have at least 3 of the aspects, so I can then have it for later use. I find a better item and it's ready to go. So, but there's also any aspects I hold on to where it's just, I might have an idea, I want to use it. I want to incorporate it down the line. I don't know, make a whole different build one day or something. Basically, where it kind of has some form of use to have the aspects be in your codex of power, which would be amazing. And they said it wouldn't be a thing until like after season 3. Won't be for a while, but just knowing that that's something they're working on is great, because that's one of the big issues I have. That's probably the biggest complaints I have, is that, because people like me tend to be pack rats and collect a bunch of stuff, so being able to like break it down and then it just stores into your codex of power like a material means you can then just break them down, and then it stores them. You can just collect the items, and if you want the item, salvage it, and then however pull the aspect down, and it just goes into the codex of power, and then it stores a quantity or something like that. Let's just say maybe it just gives you a, 1, or maybe you can level them up, things like that you can kind of touch and base on. So it's like you had 3 of the same aspects and you break them down, it goes to your codex of power, and then you have 3 uses of that power to put on any item. So that alone right there would be cool, because then you don't have to hold on to them. You don't have to hold them onto your inventory. You can just constantly just break them down no matter what. And however they want to incorporate like a level up system, get the higher powers maybe. That would be great alone. That would be so nice. It just comes down to just finding the gear with the right stats and not have to worry about the aspects dropping. I mean, you have to still farm them, collect them, but if you get a bunch of them, like any other crafting material, they become little, just, you don't have to worry about it. You spend less time trying to get the materials. The only thing is that it kind of will make the stash useless, but that's not a bad thing, because in stash space is annoying anyways for, so in general, for how like just the mechanics of the game itself, having stash space in a game is not simple. That's inventory that has to constantly be saved on a regular, and since it's a live game, it's being, you know, downloaded and uploaded on a server constantly. So adding in stash space, yes, it's nice, but it's not the solution. It will never be the solution, because the more virtual space you need, the more physical space you have to counter it. So, you know, just imagine the amount of items you have into your inventory and just times that by millions of players playing this game. Thousands, hundreds of thousands. That's a lot of data. So, and then it just gets more complicated when you add in more gear and more uniques and more legendaries. All that stuff has to have storage somewhere. So being able to just break them down, salvage them, pull the aspect, because it's just an aspect at that point. Because then it'll be easier to farm items, store items. You don't have to use your stash anymore, and then you pretty much wouldn't need your stash at all. And like legitly eliminate the need for stash by doing that. So the sooner they figure that out, better for them. It's a great quality of life feature for the players. That's cool. So yeah, and then going into that, you know, that kind of leads into their itemization, which they're not ready to talk about yet. So hopefully it's good. You know what the changes are. I mean, they are trying, like with the Oculus, they're bringing in the ability to see the rolls before you actually roll, so you can see what you're gonna get. That way you're not just left guessing, and hopefully you get it. You now know what the possible affixes are going to be. So if it doesn't have what you're looking for, you don't have to waste your time and your money to, you know, find out that you're never gonna get that stat that you think might be on that item. Which helps, you know, because I guess I would say I'm at a point where I can see what kind of would roll on certain things once you see it enough. And you kind of just figure it out, and you're like, yeah, that's not gonna roll on here, and this does, that does. Like gloves, they'll roll with the core skill. You know, amulets have passives, things like that. You kind of pick up on. But now knowing and being able to see it, without having to try to figure it out and keep a mental note of everything, that would be good. Yeah, so the itemization is going to be neat. See what they're talking and what they're gonna do, change. You know, I'm interested in to see how they're gonna introduce new aspects into the game. Honestly, like other things to do, to use, and things like that. So, but once, I don't think we'll see new aspects until they figure out what they want to do and how the Codex of Power is going to work in the future. I don't think we'll see anything new coming from, you know, new aspects on that side of things. Probably to like in a season 4. We're gonna get a new character class towards the end of the year of 2024. So that's gonna get, you know, that'll hold over players and myself for a little bit, playing the new class and, you know, doing new builds with that. I will, hopefully they do, you know, some modifications and changes to the current classes to make them more viable to play during the expansion, because they just have a new character or a new class come in, no one's gonna play the old classes. You know, everyone's gonna just stick to the, you know, new one. Everyone's gonna want to play the new one. And you know, what's the point to play the old classes, especially when you played them so many times before then? But either way, I'm looking forward to a new class, entirely new class. I have no idea what it could be. I know people were speculating to be Witch Doctor. I didn't think the Witch Doctor at all when they said it. Even when they were showing it, I was like, yeah, I was thinking the Amazon at first. To be honest, my first mindset went just rogue with magic. That's all it is. That's all Amazon is. It's just a rogue with magic. So the expansion seems cool, going back to like basically Act 3 in Diablo 2. Be able to revisit some old places there, you know, the town, which is the starting place of for Act 3 in Diablo 2. Which is cool. I mean, I was never a fan of that place, so awesome. I actually hated that place. That place sucked. So, and if you play Diablo 2 in Act 3, you know what I'm talking about. It's the worst place ever. It's just hell everywhere. Poison everything. Everything is completely poisoned. It's just death around every corner. And Mephisto was a pain in the ass. He's just... The council sucked. Like... But hey, we're going back, so that's awesome. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see the new class that they come up with. But if they make a shaman, that'd be cool. That'd be a new class. Never seen a shaman, so which then can take would take cues from the paladin, as such as in like the auras that it provided. That would be what the shaman would do. They'll be focused on the auras, in a sense, buffing and doing things like that. I wouldn't be surprised to be a shaman class, which then can take things from Witch Doctor. Take certain things from that, and use certain things as a Witch Doctor for inspiration as well. Kinda, you know, they're not far from each other. Kinda like a shaman, but a witch. So yeah, my guess on the new class would be the shaman class. A little bit of information on season 3. Gauntlets and leaderboards coming with season 3, which that would, you know, that does look fun. It's going to start a whole new deal, like basically like any other leaderboard. You get how far you're gone and what your rank level is and things like that, and what basically just be running the gauntlet for instead of items and gold, you're picking up some type of power, like it then contributes to the overall score of the leaderboard. Climbing the ladder, which is great because I mean Diablo 2 had the ladders, so I'm looking forward to that. That's something to look forward to in the future, to be able to run some ladders for it's weekly too. They have it running for a week, so and the top player of the week gets into the Hall Legends, Hero Legend. I don't know what they called it, something on those lines. So. Which then they're also doing the, what's it, Arbiter, yeah, the Arbiter Observe Beyond 100, and it's just, yeah, just a ridiculous challenge that you can just put yourself through to see how far you can go. There's 25 tiers, but yet they do give you sacred glyphs. I don't know what they call them. I don't know. They're red, powerful, and they can level up all the way to 50. Dang. Run through that, see how far you can go, or just do the ladder. Switch over and start doing the ladder runs. And then that's going to provide options there. Do you want to do a build that, you know, what's going to work? Try something. See how far you can get in the ladder. Playing around with different things. Not using cookie cutter builds and just using whatever you just want to kind of come up with. And see if it works. See how far you can get with it. It'll be fun. Because of course, there are always going to be cookie cutter builds that everyone's going to follow, and there's going to be some the one go-to that get you #1. Everyone will play that one class, and then just run it and try to get up there. But I guess if you want to compete with everybody on doing that, have fun with it. More power to you. But I'm someone that would just be messing around and see how far I can go with whatever I build. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And overall, that's not too bad. Some interesting stuff coming forward. Next thing, like, you know, what they're doing with the seasons, the expansions, seems neat, seems cool. New classes coming within the year, so that's good. That's promising. Good to see the content coming through. It's decent, it's fun, it keeps it going, keeps it engaging, and then, you know, I'm entertained. But really comes down to it is the itemization. That's gonna be like, this stuff is fun, it's fine, but redoing it over and over with the same builds, you know, same items, same stats, this, that. Sure, they're gonna tweak this and tweak that, but all in all, it's still the same. I'm still running the same things, same 5 classes, same, you know, same aspects. You can keep adding new stuff to kill all day, but when there's nothing new, it kind of, you know, nothing feels different. What's the point? So, give me options, give me things to play with, give me customization with my builds, give me more variety, more tuning, tweaking. I want to play around some things. Like what I need to know, like what happens if I do this with that. What's gonna happen? And the result should be, I don't know, find out. And it would really become more of a truly sandbox kind of experience. Pretty cool, not gonna lie. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it seems pretty cool, and I'm excited to check out the leaderboards and see how far I can get on that. Oh yeah, and then they're increasing the, you know, XP by 40% from 50 to 100, so it's gonna be 40% faster. I'll take it, 40% faster. I mean, I would be already leveled up right now. So, in that perspective, that's what it would be. Right now, where I'm sitting, that's about 40% left of the bar. I'd be pretty much leveled up right now. And then that's gonna start on November 7th, and then there's gonna be an event coming November 5th. With some other updates. The Oculus will have the interface update on November 5th. They said that was that. No, it's gonna be fun stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, that's just kind of my thoughts on it. So, you know, good things to hear. Nothing to complain about. You know, some exciting stuff to, you know, look forward to, like the Codex of Power. I mean, that's really the only thing. Yeah, like truthfully, it's the only thing that really excited me, because just knowing what it's just a good quality of life feature. So it's like, whoa, but it's not coming for a while, so it won't be here for some good time. So it's like, uh-oh. Honestly, I hope they do figure that out and we can get it with the expansion. If they can find a way to introduce that into the expansion along with the character class, the Codex of Power update, that'd be a good, which would be right around season 4 anyways. Oh no, looking forward to it. It's gonna be good stuff. We'll see what they talk about more in the future, and you know, they're gonna be talking about the itemization soon, so definitely be looking out for that, and probably have some thoughts on that as well. But yeah, that's gonna be it for now.